It's a gloomy day and we are baking. I'm out of sourdough and I'm out of bagels. I make the kids bagels for school every single week because I was just tired of giving them bagels from the food store every day because no matter what brand you get, the ingredients are not good. So that's what we are doing today. My bagels are ready to shape. I mixed these this morning and I do put some sourdough discard in here and I put it next to the heating pad as I prepared my starter for my sourdough bread, and holy smokes, it's never bulked up this much. So I'm really excited to make their bagels today. And I made my first A+ successful sourdough loaf last week. So let's see if I can replicate it again today. That's what I'm doing. The things that I found worked that were different than the first four. The first three were really like a failed attempt. The fourth one was pretty good. I gave it like a B. Were changing the recipe. One of you guys on here gave a recipe. This is the one I used. I put it in my last video if you want the recipe. And I just cut the water by 30 grams and I swear that helps so much using my, I don't know if you can see it from here, my fermentation heating pad. That's probably like the best thing I did was add that in, and that's what was able to get my starter from where the rubber band is to here in a matter of 2.5 hours this morning. So now I'm gonna put that together and then I'm going to shape the bagels and make them, and then I'm making my friend a homemade herbal medicine remedy for her kids who have like a cough, fever, sore throat kind of thing. This is the book I use to figure out what herbs to use. It's so easy to follow. It's my love language. I love doing this for my friends when their kids are sick. So it breaks down here. I don't know if you can see this. It breaks down like by what you or your kid might have and what herbs you can use. I get my herbs from a lady on Etsy if anyone needs an herb person. So for example, for like colds and flus, it's elderflower, echinacea, cinnamon, and thyme, which I have all those. And then I'll go through like sore throat and find like all the other ailments that her kid has, and I'll make a little syrup on the stovetop. It's so easy. All you have to do is boil water, add what herbs you're using into it, let it simmer for 40 minutes, strain the herbs, and add some honey for like a little thickness and a little bit of like a natural sugar flavor. My son was home yesterday with a bad cough. Luckily it didn't turn into anything and he can go back to school today. He's fine, and gave him a couple doses of this each day and his cough is already so much better. So now on to baking. I literally used tap water when I made my first successful loaf last week. I had people comment like, oh, I heard you should only be using filtered water, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I use filtered water for my starter, but the recipe I use calls for warm water, and it's just easier to get warm water out of the tap. So that's what I did, and it worked. So like, this is like one of the tips that I've heard people say is it's not that serious, sourdough. You kind of have to find what works for you. So don't be afraid to like experiment, take some tips from different people and do things like wrong, and you might be pleasantly surprised with what comes out of it.